What is going on, Ev Nation, and welcome back to another video. Today, guys, we are counting down the top 5 best Pokemon cards to invest in that were released in the year 2021. And if you guys like today's video, be sure to tune in on Thursday because I'm going to count down the top 5 best products to invest in that were also released this year. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this top 5 countdown of the best Pokemon cards from 2021. And coming in at our number 5 spot, I still have a ton of faith in this particular card, and that is the Full Art Espeon VMAX promo number 189. This is the card that was released in the exclusive Evolution box, exclusive to Japan. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. PokéNav, we already got this one in Fusion Arts. But in the long run, guys, I think that the exclusivity of this card, you're going to hear that term a lot today, exclusivity. Those are the type of cards that I think are going to have the best long-term viability in the hobby. I think that set cards as a whole are going to play a much less significant role in the canon of Pokemon cards, especially for collectors and investors. And I think the more exclusive cards, promo cards, things like this are really going to be the things that set themselves apart and really do well in the long term. So yes, we did get this card in Fusion Arts, but I think overall the fact that this one is only featured in the Evolutions box, I do think that because of that, over the long term, right now we're not really seeing it, but over the long term, I think this card is going to do quite well. Right now on the open market in a PSA 10, it is currently going for around $300. Now that is quite a bit lower than it was previously here just a few months ago when the Eevee Hero set released and the Evolutions box came out. So I think now is probably a good opportunity to start scooping this up, whether raw or graded. Obviously with PSA, you're gonna have to get that graded at $100 price point as things currently stand, so you might be better off just going out and buying it in a PSA 10 and then just holding this thing for the long term, because I think as the years go on, people are going to look back and they're going to say, okay, yes, we got 2 of the exact same card, one in Japanese, one in English. However, the one in English was featured in every booster box, every Elite Trainer box, whereas this card as a promo was only released in that Evolutions box, which as a whole, you know, we're talking about sealed products, which I'm going to be going over on Thursday. I think that's a fantastic product, one of the best ones from 2021. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Full Art Espeon VMAX promo number 189 at our number 5 spot. Whoo, buddy, I'm going to get ripped apart for this one, and I have to say this one was even difficult for me to put on this list. But the fact still remains, Special Delivery Bidoof comes in at our number 4 spot on the best cards to invest from 2021. This card is currently going for around $600 in a PSA 10. There was so much hype around Special Delivery Charizard, which we never got, at least as things currently stand. So this Special Delivery Bidoof, which also featured Charizard in the card, was the next best thing. Now, I didn't put a whole lot of stake into either of these in the beginning, but the more that I started to think about it, the more that I started to see the zeitgeist, the current paradigm, and the current taste of the Pokemon market, I started to reevaluate my initial take on this card. And the fact remains that it is exclusive to Pokemon Center. You had to order a certain amount of products in order to get the Special Delivery Bidoof in your order. So this isn't something that's massively distributed. It's not in every single box. It's not in every Elite Trainer box like other promos. So there is a certain level of exclusivity to this card, and I think that because of that, it's probably going to do pretty well over the long term. As I said, currently sitting at around $600 in a PSA 10. Now, to get that PSA 10 is not always going to be easy, because remember, this is going to be shipped alongside your products. And if there's one thing I know, it's shipping, and especially from the Pokemon Center, it's not always shipped exactly with the utmost care. So being able to get this card in a PSA 10 is not an easy task, and the fact remains that it's going to be exclusive to Pokemon Center, and that is an aspect that I like. So at the number 4 spot, you know, begrudgingly, but I had to do it, Special Delivery Bidoof. Now, as you guys know, I love Japanese exclusive products and cards, and this is perhaps the best card to come out of Japan this year. And at the number 3 spot, we have the 2021 Japan Post Stamp Box Promo. This is the full art Pikachu. This currently is sitting at around $500 in a PSA 10. Now, it's sitting lower than our previous choice of the special delivery Bidoof, but I think over the long term, this will far outperform the special delivery Bidoof. Such a cool card and in a very, very cool product as well. And as I said, guys, Japan really knocks it out of the park with their products, things that we don't get in the rest of the world. And this is an example of one of those products that is really one of a kind. And even just the box itself is still very, very reasonable to pick up as a sealed product. And on the inside, you not only have this one, but you have the Cramorant as well. And they're just absolutely beautiful cards, wonderful artwork. I mean, nothing speaks to Japanese culture like this card. You have the woman there in, I believe it's a kimono dress, I think is what it's referred to as. And then you have Pikachu, the mascot of the Pokemon hobby. I mean, what better dichotomy than that to represent Japan as a culture? And I just absolutely love this card. It's going to do really well long term, in my opinion. If you can, probably again a better option to just pick this up in a PSA 10, hold on to it. You can go out, you can still find these cards in a raw form for a pretty decent price, sometimes even under $100. But again, with the grading costs, everything like that, and trying to get this in a PSA 10, you're probably better off just going out and buying the raw card itself. But yes, I have to say, guys, one of the most beautiful cards released out of Japan. It's exclusive to this particular product, the stamp box itself. And again, just the real nexus point of Japanese culture in general. Alright guys, and here we are at our number 2 spot on the best Pokemon cards to invest in from 2021. Now this is a set as a whole that I was not particularly fond of. I didn't really like the set list. I didn't really like the way that they created the cards for this set, especially as the set that celebrated the 25th anniversary. And of course, you guys already know I'm talking about Celebrations. But this card in particular, the reason that I like it so much is, one, is it is exclusive to one product. And if you guys haven't guessed it already, the number 2 spot is the Ultra Premium Collection Gold Medal Pikachu. Now, this card could very well move to the top of the list, and here is why. Currently, there is only one PSA 10 that I can find out on the open market, and it was sold for over $10,000. There's plenty of PSA 9s out there in this card, but only one PSA 10, which gives me the indication that this is not an easy card to grade, and because of that low population, I think this card is going to do very, very well. Again, it's also exclusive to the Ultra Premium Collection box, which as a precursor is also one of the best sealed products I think that you can invest in from this year. And it's got that nostalgic Pikachu artwork. It's got a very different type of texture on it, the gold metal pattern that people have absolutely went bonkers over. Just a lot of really cool features on this card, and I think it is well deserved for our number 2 spot on the list. Now, before we get to our number 1 spot on our list, I'd like to take some time to give our honorable mention. These are cards that very well could have made this list, but just didn't quite have what it takes to make the top 5 list. The first one here, you know, love it or hate it, the Shining Fates Charizard. We talked about this earlier in the year. It really had all of the makings of a great Charizard card. It's a shiny Charizard. It's a Charizard VMAX. It's a full art card, hyper rare card, whatever you want to call it. A lot of really cool characteristics in here. It's still doing quite well out on the open market. You can still find these in PSA 10s right around about $400 on the open market. I mean, come on guys, it's a special subset, Shining Fates, very similar to Hidden Fates. It's the Charizard card, all of the really cool features that you would want in a Charizard card. So I mean, I think over the long term, love it or hate it, it's still going to do well, and it's Charizard. Next up, we have the Umbreon VMAX number 95. This is from Eevee Heroes. Now, why would I choose this card over the equivalent that was featured in Evolving Skies, well, the fact of the matter is it's just performing a lot better. From what we've seen, this card much more difficult to pull than the one from Evolving Skies, and Japanese products right off of the printing press are always in better condition for the most part, I would have to say. And this one in particular, just an absolute beautiful card. There's a full lineup of all of the evolutions from EV Heroes that very well could be on this honorable mention list as well. They're all doing very well on the secondary market, both raw and ungraded, but the Umbreon VMAX, this is number 95, definitely should be on your list to invest in from this year. And then the last one is the Rayquaza VMAX. This is number 83, and this one is from Blue Sky Stream. Basically the same premise behind this card versus the equivalent card also released in Evolving Skies, and the fact of the matter remains, just performing a lot better on the secondary market. Again, I think a lot of that is due to the fact that it just isn't pulled as much as the English equivalent, and the fact that the condition is much better than its English counterpart. So those are our honorable mentions. Now let's go ahead and get to our number 1 spot on the list. So here we are, we finally made it to our number 1 spot on the list of the top 10 best Pokemon cards to invest in from 2021, and you've probably already guessed it at this point, but it can be nothing other than the Ultra Premium Collection Gold Medal Charizard. Now, again, we were just talking about the Pikachu. I think the big determining factor for this of which one of these will actually be that number 1 choice as the years go on will be the pop reports. How many of these cards actually come back out in a PSA 10, because as far as the overall populations of these cards, raw, they're going to be equivalent. There's the same 2 cards in every Ultra Premium Collection box. Now, as a whole, that particular box, I don't think we're going to see a very big production of this product. It's not an easy one to produce. Much like the Elite Trainer boxes, a lot of the products that are on the inside come from other countries, and I just don't think that we're going to see a ton of this out there. You add on top of that the high price point, which if you're even purchasing it at MSRP, which is $120, that's just a little bit outside of the realm of affordability for a lot of people. So I don't think you're going to find this in a whole lot of collectors or investors' hands, especially if the supply remains low. So you add all of those different things together, you've got a Charizard card, you've got all of the cool features of being a gold medal card. But again, I think that the big determining factor will be how many of these come back out in a PSA 10, because right now that low pop report is definitely leaning more towards the Pikachu card, and you're seeing that in the secondary market values. But if if the Charizard still remains relatively low, you're going to see this card perform pretty well over the long term. Right now in a PSA 10, it's sitting around $7,000 on the secondary market. Now, there's not a ton of these that have been graded. We will give it that. As we go on through 2022, you're definitely going to see more of these come back out onto the open market, especially if PSA grading prices come down. You're definitely going to see more of these coming back out. But the big factor, again, will be how many of them actually come back out in that PSA 10, which will be a really interesting data point to track. So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 picks of the best cards to invest in from this year, along with the honorable mentions. Let me know what you guys thought of this list. Let me know what your top 5 list would look like down in the comments below, and be on the lookout for 2022. I think we have a lot of really cool cards in store for us in the next year, and it seems like every single year we just get better and better cards. So this time next year, top 5 list could be even better. Other than that, guys, I will see you all next time. My name is PokéNav. I'm here to help you navigate the world of Pokemon one video at a time, and I will see you all in the next video.